what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is king.
The Trump administration is putting on hold billions of dollars of funding for infrastructure projects in New York City. In a social media post, White House Budget Director Russell Vought wrote that he would be pausing $18 billion in funding for infrastructure projects to ensure that money was not flowing based on unconstitutional DEI principles.
In Chicago, Operation Midway Blitz is in full swing. Hundreds of federal agents stormed an apartment complex earlier today in a multi-agency raid, and they arrested more than a dozen people. Authorities say they were targeting members of the vicious Tren de Aragua gang.
This stunt has nothing to do with public safety. This is about politics, money, and power.
They're not targeting violent criminals or gang members. They're arresting tamale vendors.
We will liberate this city from the criminal element that has plagued it for generations. This is not just a strategy shift. This is an attitude shift. We are not going to live in an environment anywhere where there is a street that belongs to a criminal, where there is a neighborhood that belongs to a gang, where there is any physical space anywhere that belongs to anyone other than the law-abiding citizens and families of Memphis. The idea that there is a square inch of block in this city where a citizen doesn't feel safe is unacceptable.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily. Today is October 2nd, 2025, Anno Domini. We are here live in the Charlie Kirk studio, Phoenix, Arizona. And we are here with Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff. What's up, guys?
Hey.
So,
thanks for having us. It's my second time on your show.
Yeah, I mean, you were okay. You know, we got some good audience feedback. It was mixed. To be fair, it was mixed. But you know, it was. It's
about my ceiling.
It was about your ceiling, yeah. and I said, you know what though, this might be something where we can get you in and get you on, because yesterday we got the incredible news, something that we've been banging on Thought Crime and Human Events and the Charlie Kirk Show, was the ADL. And Charlie had this great tweet up, not even that long ago, where he said the ADL is number one and the SPLC is number two in terms of the purveyors of hate in America.
Yep. This is the tweet.
You got it there.
You want to be a big hate group? Just call yourself an anti-hate group.
We're the anti-bad guy squad.
People? Do you want to defame people? Call yourself the anti-defamation league.
So here I'm getting the tweet for the team.
So the ADL, the FBI has severed their relationship with them.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is going hardcore on them, trying to push back on all of their government contracts, which we see are all over various levels of government. And today online, people have just started blasting the SPLC because we're saying, guys, and specifically because, by the way, it started with the ADL's attack on Turning Point USA.
Well, and Christians.
And Christian identity. Christian identity. And the SPLC does the same thing.
The Christian identity one specifically was an actual group that I think called itself Christian Identity that was like weird stuff. But they were bad in a million other ways, including smearing us.
But by the way, it doesn't even change the reality that they were anti-Christian, or they are anti-Christian. I mean,
precisely.
They don't, at least Christian values. So here's the tweet. They have our team should have it. So throw this up when you can get it, guys. This is from September 1st, 2023. Charlie says, whatever it was in the past, today the ADL is a hate group that dons a religious mask to justify stoking hatred of the left's enemies. I believe in the First Amendment and free speech as a principle, regardless of what the law says. I don't want to ban anyone's speech. But the ADL has no place extorting X, Twitter, or any other social media companies, nor should it dictate to federal law enforcement agencies what hate speech is. The ADL itself is America's #1 purveyor of hate speech, parentheses, and the SPLC is number 2.
So the great Perry Abbasi, Pericles of Chicago, who is an alpha male married to a woman, that we congratulate him for that. He found that the day before September 10th, that on September 9th, the SPLC released their Hate Watch newsletter.
No way.
and I don't think anyone had realized this because we don't follow them on a
juxtaposition
direct
of those
basis.
dates. Yeah.
September 9th, they had an article attacking Charlie Kirk, literally one day before Utah Valley. And he was being targeted. He was this member of the hard right. And I'm trying to pull the exact tweet up, but they said they were going after him saying, this guy is against DEI and, he is a hate and extremist. And again, so we talk about the various rhetoric that Democrats use. These places are the sources of that rhetoric. And they'll say, oh, well, look at this study by the ADL. Look at this study by the SPLC. And then David Sachs would point out that if you search certain conservatives online, and I appreciate David pointing this out, that he said you search Stephen Miller, first thing that comes up is SPLC. You search Jack Posobiec, the first thing that comes up is SPLC. And in fact, last year, earlier this year, in May of this year, the SPLC added Turning Point USA to their 2024 hate map. And this is the thing with these types of hate organizations, the extremists that follow them. We know that the Family Research Council shooter was an SPLC follower. The Steve Scalise shooter was an SPLC follower. So they've been tied to multiple shootings in the past. And yet they continue to dox, they continue to make maps, they make lists with impunity.
Yeah, so they put us on their hate map as a hate group. What is it that the alleged shooter supposedly said, according to Utah authorities, in those messages? I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out.
Specific, the almost verbatim the same words as the SPLC. We'll be right back. Human Events Daily continues.